Slipknot, welcome to Glasgow. Great to have you playing here again. We're backstage at the SECC just shortly before you take to the stage here. What normally goes through your minds when you're just about to start a gig?
What am I doing? It's a lot of pain that goes through the day. Just waiting for that hour and a half with the kids, you know? So just try and make do and get through the day and, get ready to do what we really came here to do, play a show.
When you're just about to start a show, when you've got the masks on and you've got ready to look the part, how much do the masks help get into the mindset for the show?
They don't help at all. It's extremely painful. This isn't Oasis. We don't wear fur coats. This is the real deal. This is make it as hard as possible to do what we're lucky to do. So they don't help they make it worse. But the trade-off is when the show's over, we win. When this comes off, I'm a winner. There's no getting out of it. We go all the way. And when it comes off at the end of the night, I gave 190% because I put myself through this, because he puts himself through that. But it doesn't help get into any mindset at all. It's like a prison sentence.
The first thing people always associate with Slipknot is the masks. And it's always struck me that it's something that's always been around. There's always been, if you like, a tradition in theatre and so on for hundreds of years, thousands maybe, that people wearing masks to get into, a performance or a mind or whatever. Is that not the case? Is it just...
This is me. I don't need to put this on to be me. It's just me. It's one and the same. I'd much rather not have to go through this. But it's me. So it's not needed to be something I'm not. It just is one and the same.
Yeah. We've worn them for so long that, it's part of now. I put it on and I don't feel any different. I don't imagine to be any different. I don't perform any differently than I would if it was suddenly removed on stage. It would be the same thing. It's just an added part of the gig.
What drives you to do it? I mean, it's a ferociously intense show that you put on, and obviously, like you say, it's not something that you necessarily need to do, but you do put so much into it. What drives you to do that? What makes you feel that feeling, if you like, to bring that out?
For me, it's probably the other 8 guys. We're in it together, and we have been since the beginning, and I kind of play with those guys, so I give it my all just like they give it their all. We're all away from home. We're all in the same boat, man. So it's unfair for me not to give my all when my other 8 brothers are giving their all and going through the same pain as I am. And the fans help out immensely, because obviously there's some nights where you're sick or you just don't want to fucking be here, and you see them and hearing the songs and seeing how they react, it makes it worthwhile, man.
You mentioned the fans and the way they work to, if you like, encourage you, and they get something out of the show too. You've played in Glasgow before. I certainly remember even when just shortly after the debut album came out, you were playing the Barrowlands here, and again it was a very, very intense show. And what do you think the fans are getting out of it?
They get their true life. The reason why we have such a crazy fan base is because we don't compromise. We only have this art to prove to ourselves. And once we prove it to ourselves, we give it to them, and they finally find the people that don't lie to them, that stand up for what's true. We don't give them anything less than the best of what we expect for ourselves. And that's what they've been looking for their whole lives, is someone not to lie to them. Someone that will be there, and when we say something, it's true. So they get that. We're one and the same, the fans and us, and that's why it is what it is. It's one big, large family, because we are the same thing, and we've got each other's backs.
The album's met with pretty considerably huge commercial success and critical success as well. That must feel particularly satisfying for you. Is that the case?
It's always satisfying to break down the walls of this pathetic industry. We've been doing what we've been doing since the beginning. It's really no different. We paint pictures, and each picture that we paint's different. They go up on different parts of your wall. None of them are the same, except for the common thread between it which is the Slipknot sound. If you want to go back to the record Iowa, you have it. You don't have another record that's kind of like it. You have just Iowa. You have the debut. You have Volume 3. And now you have All Hope Is Gone. We just continuously open up our spirit to create more and more and more, and we're just going to continue to do that. It doesn't matter what you want or what they want. It's what we want. And what we want is to be able to create whatever it is we feel.
Some of the critics have latched on a sort of possibly slightly more experimental sound with this album, slightly different sound with the vocals, slightly different sound with the drums, perhaps. Do you think there's been an experiment in the album? Do you think there's a new sort of style to the sound at all, or is it just a continuation of what you've been doing?
It's a continuation. I mean, there's, those are all things that they feel like they have to say because it's a new record. We've been number one since day one. We've been breaking the boundaries since day one. We've been pushing the envelope because we are the envelope since day one. It's just a continuation of what we are. You're going to get more and more and more. When the next record comes out, it'll be the same questions, but it'll be different music. We'll be the ones changing, and everything else will be catching up. And that's just the way it is. I understand it. Most people don't get it. It's all right.
Yeah, you know what really bothers me about those statements is, let's say my favorite band is Stickman, okay? The new Stickman record comes out, and I'm a fan of that record. Do you think I sit there and go, oh, it sounds like they got a new recording device that made... Are you kidding me, man? Like, when the record comes out, it's my favorite band's new record. Like, to dig into that deep just to have something to say annoys me, It's like it's the new Slipknot record, and it is Slipknot. We all play on the record. Everything is live, and to have to go through all that stuff just to say something is pretty kindergarten for me.